threshold. We do something better than that.
Hey everyone, welcome to Threshold. We're going to play some 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons for you all. This is a very exciting session. My name is Steven, I'm the Dungeon Master. I'm so excited, I'm almost getting ahead of myself. Let's go around the table and introduce the players. We're going to start on that end.
Okay, hi, I am Pamela and I am playing Christine DeMarin, a noble who has just regained some of her titles and possibly getting new ones. She
Always getting new titles.
Yeah, recently found out that she is betrothed. So
In between last week's session and this week's session, she agreed to go with Sunastromo up north to Ölengrad. So they're gonna cut through Marton. So they collected her gloves at the glove maker, and they've headed out to Marton.
I'm Casey. I'm playing Clarion Johns. I also have a slowly rising lycanthropy problem.
just slowly.
It was a little problem last week, and now it's a bigger problem.
This is a bigger problem. It's a bigger problem now.
I'm Josh. I'm playing Rasper Hawkborn, a human fighter who uses a shovel instead of a sword, with a dark criminal past.
My name is Brian. I play J.B. Something. He's a half-elf warlock with powers of mysterious origins. Not that mysterious, semi-mysterious origins.
Quasi-mysterious.
Quasi-mysterious origins.
Right. I'm Kevin. I'm playing Vel, elven wizard. He's kind of all over the place. He's a little zany. He has a lot of things in his pockets, and he's trying to solve the problem of elves losing their immortality. But, he's also just kind of helping his friends now.
Great. So last time they investigated the Master of History in Easterton, blew up a bliss factory, and it was awesome. So then, just to kind of move things along a little bit, you met after a couple of days after collecting the shovel and the gloves and some spells.
And the cold iron daggers.
You guys have decided to go with Peter Sunastromo. He's going to go north. You guys are going to go out back to Marton and then catch a boat, hopefully north, where you can head to Olrad. You've been traveling for quite a few days. This journey through the forest is certainly much less interesting than your last one. You pass briefly through Haddock, and you receive word from them that things are going pretty well. The half ogre's name.
Andrew.
Franklin. Yes, Franklin. Franklin is trying to rebuild as best he can. He's heard that there was a message sent that some army officials are going to come from Easterton to Haddock, and they're going to hopefully bolster some of their ranks. You continue on through there, and then you arrive back in Marton. You can see that some construction has started to happen. You can see that many Sons of the Shipwreck members have transitioned straight into City Guard, now under new leadership. Virgie Bacon is now in charge. Christine is now in charge, but you've arrived back, and things seem to be going pretty well. You're received. You're taken into part of the castle. Part of the Night Tower has been sort of like rebuilt. It's very like just wood like structure basically, but there's enough walls on it that it gives you shelter. And a lot of the vines have been cut back. It's starting to be cleaned out now that it has been rid of ghosts. And Virgie receives you there. You guys are sitting on modest wooden furniture. It seems to be collected and donated from the inns and whatever they could scrounge from the different things. And she finishes giving a report by saying, there's been a lot of progress, but there's still a long way to go. But I understand the situation and why you need to go north, and so I think that is a good idea in the long run.
Yes. It's good to be home. even just for a little bit. And
Good.
I'm really, really impressed with how much work's been done since I left. Has the stone slab been moved at all? Is it still in the same spot?
As far as I know.
Oh, I was just going to ask about that. Thank you.
I think we'd maybe want to move it into the night tower.
Great.
If that's at all possible.
Absolutely, I can do that.
I'd like to. I'd like to supervise the moving of that, if possible.
Absolutely, you would be more than welcome to. She gives an order to a couple of guards, and they say if you would take Mr. Vel here and take him over to the where the marble slab is, and he'll oversee the movement.
Excellent, thank you.
Anything else?
Yes, the last time we were here, there was a ship that had boxes of metal in them. We now know it's cold iron.
Yes.
What has happened to those?
The cold iron. Yes, I should have mentioned that earlier. There is a smuggler. He arrived last night, and he's hoping to take it north with him.
Mm-hmm.
He says he's already been paid for it. I was going to write you a letter by whoever is receiving it up north.
Do we know who had started to send it before?
Perhaps my father knew. Perhaps my dad knew at some point. But it's probably there's a list of 50 different mines from down south and from as far over we were receiving stuff from out of Sherryton. And I mean, we were just taking our little tax on it and letting it go its way. You could talk to the smuggler if you wanted.
Yes.
He's kind of a unsavory type. And I'm afraid that I have heard of him before. He's a kind of a notorious pirate.
His name?
His name, you'll know him as Two Shots. Kelvin Two Shots Johnson.
Two Shots. Can I make a knowledge?
You know that he's a pirate.
Okay.
He's a pirate in the area.
Right.
Pirate and smuggler.
Has any more cold iron passed through?
No, for the most part it seems to have stopped.
Okay. Interesting. No more attacks. By any of the sons. They've all.
It's been pretty quiet. There were a few skirmishes pretty much after we left, but we were able to. Most of my members have remained pretty loyal to me, and so we were able to put down any insurrection.
Great. And no more hauntings.
Nope, no more hauntings.
Great.
Everything's good. Things are really looking up for Marton, especially now that we have our Lord back.
Yes.
Your ma'am, my lady.
No.
Do you know the next time Two Shots is coming to town?
He's here now. He came in last night.
Is he staying at the Weeping Trout?
Yes, he has taken over the Weeping Trout.
I think we should go speak with Mr. Two Shots.
I agree.
Great. While Vel moves the block, you guys head on over to the Weeping Trout.
Great.
Careful, 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 careful!
At the Weeping Trout.
Thelma is the bartender at the Weeping Trout. Thelma?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
Thelma.
Yeah, Thelma.
Yeah.
I thought it was Teresa, but it's not Teresa, it's Thelma.
No.
Yes.
Thelma, you see her outside of the Weeping Trout. She's sweeping some stuff out the door, and she looks kind of relieved, and she says, "Welcome back, my lady, and everyone else, and your companions. I don't know what to address you as. Are you looking for rooms for the night? I imagine that the night tower isn't quite set up to receive guests." She takes her hair and she puts it back.
Oh, it's fine. Yes, we would need some rooms. And we'd also like to speak to Mr. Two Shots.
Ah, yes, he's you'll find him at the bar. Just head on in. You can't miss him.
Great, thank you, Thelma.
You guys walk in.
Yeah.
Val, you join up with them. The block
Alright.
moving went fine.
Great. Where is it now?
Where do you want it? It's somewhere in the night tower.
Probably somewhere, maybe like a storage room that was vacant. We just found a place down there to stash it.
Great. You found a place to stash it, and it still has a door.
Perfect. Perfect.
It still
Actually,
has a good strong door on it.
Cool. And before I leave, I'm going to throw an arcane lock on it.
Great.
So I'm going to set it up so that only I and these folks can open the door without knowing the password, and the password is something in Elvish that I haven't determined yet.
Okay. Great. So you blow some gold dust on the lock,
That's right.
and it sparkles and glimmers before it seems to seep into the iron.
Yep. All right. I need to talk to Rasper about getting some more of the money that we've pilfered.
That gold does.
It's, yeah.
Fantastic. So you guys you all enter the bar, and you see he's sitting at the bar. He has his feet up on the bar, sitting on a stool, and he has one drink in each hand, and he seems to be relaxing. He has on a pair of boots that come up to about mid-thigh, and he has leather armor, as well as a bunch of daggers that are sticking out everywhere, and a couple of hand crossbows that he has holstered on either side. And he kind of kicks back, and he sits up as you come in, and he puts down his 2 drinks and looks at you and says, "Who are you?"
I am Christine DeMarin, the lord of the area.
Huh, I haven't heard of you.
You are in my town, sitting at a bar that I technically own.
So you're the one I asked about moving that cold iron.
Yes.
I want to take it off your hands because I want to get paid. I've stayed down here too long anyway.
Who's paying you?
Some guy up north. I think he's Ostin something, or who knows. He's some dwarf, I think.
Mm-hmm. And where are you taking the shipment?
To Ölengrad. And I want to be on my way as quickly as possible.
Well, luckily for you, I'm also heading in the direction of Olrad.
That certainly seems to be convenient.
Mm-hmm.
He takes a sip of his.
Where are you? So you're dropping the shipment off in Ölengrad?
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. You don't have a letter or anything showing that you're supposed to be shipping this?
A letter? Honey, I'm a smuggler.
You have to be communicated with somehow.
Up until a few weeks ago, if you want my correspondence, it's back on my ship. But frankly, if you're not going to give me the cold iron, then I'm just going to cut my losses and run. But if you need to go to Ölengrad and I need to go to Ölengrad as fast as possible, I'm the fastest smuggler on the air and sea. So either you find someone else to sail you the Fanged Coast, or you hitch a ride on my boat. It's up to you.
I look at Patrick, said? The Sunostromo?
Yes, Patrick Sunostromo.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I don't have any other arrangement. I was hoping to just catch a ride with a merchant.
Great.
So this might be very fortuitous.
All right. Well, you have yourself a deal, sir.
All right. I'll tell my crew, and we can leave at nightfall.
Yay.
Sounds fantastic.
Great.
Beautiful. He gets up, and he puts some coin on the counter, and he says, thanks for the drinks, Thelma. And then he swaggers out of the bar with his crossbows clicking as he moves.
That guy's a jerk.
You're one to talk.
What?
I'm sorry, I noticed the way that you treated those bullywogs back at Easterton.
Hey.
Having them carry you. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't use my legs. Mr. Bullywog, please carry me.
They were having
And he's a jerk?
They were having a great time. That was a fun bullywog game. I'm sorry if you're unfamiliar with bullywog customs.
So, anyway, meanwhile, you guys head on down. You're going to head on down to the ship?
Mm-hmm.
Great. So Yeshurton says, I don't know if this character is entirely trustworthy, but I don't know if we have many valuables, so at the worst, I don't think it'll come to a fight because he's getting paid for this journey anyway.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I actually think this worked out rather well. Excellent. So you guys head on down the... unless there's something someone needs to do here. Great.
Nope.
You guys head on down the zigzagging steps out to the shipwreck bay, and you can see his boat. It's just a small boat. It's not the mythic ship of legend that you had heard that he. It's not like the big grand galley that you thought that he had piloted, but that he'd captained.
What's the name of the ship?
It actually doesn't have a name.
Ooh.
Smuggler ship.
And you can see that he's readying the thing, and you can see some of his crew taking the pallets of cold iron onto the boat.
Are there any like burned insignias and like saying what company or where they're from?
No.
Interesting. Okay.
They're just bars.
I'm gonna put some gloves on.
You want to pull her up here?
No, I have my own gloves. Thank you.
You guys get on the boat, and Two Shot says, "Okay, does any of you know how to sail? Then don't touch anything."
Okay.
Okay, I think we can be underway. Virgie's down at the dock, and she waves goodbye, and Teresa waves goodbye. And there's actually a couple bullywogs who wave goodbye too.
What are bullywogs doing there?
Bullybog and Marton have had a better relationship as well as with Zerathane up north. So there's starting to be some more bullywog human mingling in this,
that makes me
this
happy.
area. And they're all waving. They wave goodbyes, you guys, as you guys leave. Two Shots is commanding. Let's go, let's get those oars going. And then he pulls out a map, smuggler's map of the Fang coast with a really detailed and specific route to go through it. And he rubs his hands together as he gets to the helm. He tapes it to the helm and tapes it. He ties it to the helm, and he starts steering. He says, "So, what's the Lord of Marton going up to Ölengrad for?"
Business.
Business, she says.
Business. No, not that.
All right, that's fine.
I have bad news for everyone. I don't do boats very well.
Oh.
And then I run to the edge. Anybody needs me, I'll be over here.
How did you make the trip over?
Miserably.
A pirate band plays. There's an accordion player. He plays up some sea shanties.
Ship up me yardies old.
He sang the ship song. The ship song. I was born on a pirate ship. And followed by the traditional tongue-holding verse.
Yes.
The journey actually goes pretty uneventfully. You get up into port. You actually see the port of Ölengrad as you're rounding the corner, and Tusha says, "All right, take a look at that. There she is. Have you seen Ölengrad before?"
Never.
No.
Well, take a look. Here's the Red City. You see it come up from the horizon. The first thing that you notice is the two giant domes, the two giant gold domes of the castle Coinhalt, which is a huge gold dome with then like some towers that come off it and a wall, and it's actually built up on a raised mountain. So the city, kind of like Easterton, has two levels where there's the mountain range kind of plateaus, and so there's a bunch of castles. The castle's built up here, and then the town is below it with some wine, some back traces that go up to the castle to help defend it. You can see some fields, and you pull into port. They're made out of like a similar red brick to what the Roost is made out of, but this red brick is a lot more a lot brighter. There's 2 gold domes. One of them is Coin Halt. That is where that's the seat of the Nostromo house. The other is the Rotkloster, which, Vel, I'm sure you've read about it because it is where the Red Wizards of Ölengrad live.
Red Wizards of Olrad. I wonder if they're as bad as other Red Wizards I remember. Anyway.
No, they're.
What do they have a reputation?
They do. They have a reputation for being very strong ritualists.
Ooh.
So they don't do spellcasting, but they're very wise, and they're almost a religion, except they're not really a divine.
Very cool.
Thing. So you pull into port, and Two Shot says, "All right. So I guess you don't owe me anything because of on account of this money and all that I'm going to be getting from this cold iron. So I'll just count the meals that you mooched off me a loss."
Oh, how very kind of you.
Yes.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
I'll count those meals as a loss too.
All right. Well, I'll see you all when I see you. I guess I'm headed back south.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Two Shots.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Send a hand.
He goes to take a knee. As he slicks back his long hair. And he says, "All right, let's go get paid. Watch the ship." And then he walks off into town. It's cold
I'm going
up
to put on
here.
my new winter gloves. I was smart.
It's cold. There's a light dusting of snow over everything. You see a pretty good mixture of humans and dwarves mulling about. The humans have sort of a darker, hairier complexion than some of the more southern people. But they're milling about the docks, and there's ships that are getting ready to go south, maybe a few that are getting ready to go north. You hear a mixture of human, dwarven, and snow speak, which is like a northern tongue that northern humans speak, which is kind of like, it borrows heavily from dwarven. So the town is before you. It's smaller. It's significantly smaller than Easterton, but it's still a very large city.
Okay. Well,
Well,
Patrick?
Yeah. I can take you right up to Coinhalt.
Great. Let's do it.
Fantastic. He walks out, and then he kind of like motions. He's trying to get the attention to something, and a small cart comes up. It's like a rickshaw, but it's pulled by a shaggy deer with big antlers. And he says, "We should be able to all fit in this one. Actually, we better get 2 because there's 6 of us." So he manages to flag down another one, and he tells both of them, "Hey, we're going up to Coinhalt. So I'll just make sure to be in the lead one, so I can give the people the word." Excellent.
Oh, are those horn beasts native to this area?
Yes, they sure are.
Huh.
And I see you're well versed in the way of horn beasts.
I just called them that because that's what they are.
Oh well, I guess you and the early humans in this region had a similar thought process.
That's terrifying.
A dwarf is driving one of them, and a human is driving another one. The dwarf is he's a squat dwarf. He has a big, thick brown beard and hair that's kind of shaved on the sides. It has like a little mohawk in the middle. And he pulls on a brown fur cap with aviator flaps. He says, "All right, let's go." And the horned beast rears back and starts to move pretty quickly. You guys get a good view of the city. On your way, you actually pass out of a gate. Past the city, and this gate is the Nordtor, the north gate, and you head on out before you go up the switchbacks out of the city into another gate, which is the Hochetor, which is the high gate. And you get now a better look of the impressive, huge domes with their big towers, and they again overlook the city, and they overlook the whole ocean, and you can see for miles. You see Two Shots' ship it maybe takes you about an hour to get up there. You see 2-shot ships sailing up north, as well as a bunch of other ships that are leaving the frigid waters. And you come all the way to the gate. You pass the Rotkloster, which is like just a smaller version of the same building, separated a little bit by maybe a few blocks. And then you arrive at Coinhalt, the seat of the Nostromo family. When you pull up, Peter Nostromo, he waves at one of the guards, and they exchange a few words in the snow speak. He pulls out his family lineage paper, and the guy looks it over and he says, "Okay." He says, waves them through. The guards let them pass, and you come into the courtyard. The courtyard is very small, maybe only 200 yards or so, because it's pretty snowy and there's not much use for it other than army training or that kind of thing to keep the garrison sharp. And you come to the front doors. The carts pull over. Sue Easterton pays them. Says, "Okay, we're here." You can feel the warmth coming out of the building. There's a large fire burning on the inside. You can feel the warmth coming out of it. It certainly beats the frigid cold, except Jamie. You feel it.
I'm loving it. This is great. This is tropical
I guess we should probably take you straight to the king.
Yes.
Or excuse me, the Lord.
Yes.
Lord.
Anywhere that's inside, these are my only clothes.
We'll have to get you. We'll have to get you some furs. We can send for some furs. But in the meantime, we can head straight up there. I'm sure that it'll be plenty warm once we get inside. You head through a section of different sub-chambers. It's built like octagonal or hexagonal, 6 sides. Rings that go further in. Each one, of course, is under the big dome. And finally, you get to the center, which is where the king's court as well as his chambers are located. You arrive on the inside, and he says, "If you guys will wait in here," he leads into like a little nice meeting room. "I'll go and do the proper things to get his lordship out here."
Great. Thank you, Patrick.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. What is our plan with this guy?
Well, honestly, I don't really have a choice. I can either join him, have a higher title, and still keep control over my lands. Or I could say no, not honor the agreement, and have them forcefully taken from me.
I mean, it's that's a tough decision.
I've already made up my mind.
Oh, then we're fine then.
Hi, I'm sorry. Is this office occupied? I was hoping. You know what? What can I help you guys with? Maybe there's something I can do for you. A young man comes in. He's maybe 22. He has on very fine clothes. He has dark hair and kind of shoulder length dark hair, and he extends his hand. You can see that he's wearing a Nostromo family tabard, which is the white with the gold elephant, the gold mammoth on it. And he says, "Is there something I can help you guys with?"
Oh, we're having, I guess, a meeting with the
with Lord Nostromo.
Lord.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm Gregory. I'm his son. Is there something that I can do for you guys?
Oh,
He might be a little busy, so it might be a while. Do you need something to eat or?
Yes. I haven't been able to keep down solid
Okay.
food for the whole journey. I haven't eaten anything since we got here. Please, food.
I think we have some horn beast roasting.
Oh. All right.
Also, my compatriots would appreciate some furs as well.
Yes, absolutely. Great. I will be right back. What are your names?
I'm Christine Demarin.
Christine, nice to meet you.
Play around.
Clarion.
Rasper.
Rasper.
I'm Jamie.
Jamie.
Vel will do.
Vel, great. I'll be right back. I'll get someone to get us that roast horn beast. He leaves.
Well, he's nicer than I
Is that
thought.
the guy? Is that
yeah.
the guy? Oh, that's the guy.
Oh man, that
He's cute.
I know. I wasn't
You all look the
expecting
same to
that.
me.
Wow, that was really racist.
I was expecting another Easter, to be honest. Kind of the douchey.
Spoiled brat type?
Yeah.
No, we don't breed him like that up here.
No, we breed them like Jamie up here. I should go.
Oh man. Okay.
Okay. After a minute, a large woman comes in and she's carrying some plates, and she hands you just a stack of plates, and then she steps out into the hall and she has a pot, and it's just full of a warm stew. She says, "He was wrong. It's not roast horn beast, but it is instead horn beast stew." I lied. They're bowls.
I was like, plates.
They're bowls.
He's playing a cruel joke.
There's a sense of humor.
And here are some chopsticks for you to eat with.
She pours the bowls and she passes them out to you.
I tried to take a bite out of the side of the bowl. And I was like, oh, Marton's so much better.
I'm sorry, what was your name, ma'am?
My name is Louis.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Louis. I'm the chef here in Coinhalt.
Well, this smells delicious, Louis. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Gregory comes back in and says, "Thank you very much, Louis." So yeah, go ahead and sit. What brings you all the way up here?
Well.
Where are you coming from, by the way?
Marton.
Marton. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that was. I thought that city was Gonsville.
It was.
It was.
We brought it back from Gonsville.
Oh, great. So why are you up here? I'm pretty sure that you guys are what? You guys are Easter vassals down there, right?
I am. But I might not be. Anymore.
Okay.
I was brought up here by your family, the Nostramos.
We're investigating an outbreak of a horrible drug that might be going around, and so we're trying to see how far the reach of the influence of this drug has gone.
Well, I can assure you that everything is pretty fine here. There certainly aren't any drugs. I shouldn't say they're fine, but things are far from fine. But there's certainly drugs, and if so, there certainly aren't drugs, and if there were, I'd think that they'd be the least of our worries.
What do you mean things aren't fine? What is happening?
Oh boy. Have you? So under this mountain, there are dwarves.
Okay.
And the dwarves are at war.
With whom?
Not exactly sure. Some kind of dark, horrible entity that lives under the earth.
Are they fae?
I think so.
I've seen a lot of shipments of cold iron coming up here.
Yes, there's been a lot. We've built the cult Isentor.
I see.
Which I guess in your tongue is the cold iron gate. And it's a joint effort between the dwarves and ourselves. We're going to try to, as best we can, keep the largest tunnel sealed up. If it's just about finished, and we've barred it. But I mean, this isn't something you guys have to worry about yet, because we're actually preparing a counteroffensive, and we're going to hold them.
Why are you talking to me? Why?
A counteroffensive to whatever the dwarves are fighting?
To their attacks, yes. The dwarves have been pushed back. Unfortunately, most of dwarf civilization is gone. The dwarves have a single stronghold. They have a single city left just beyond the Kalteisentor called Eisenscheid. Eisenschmeid, excuse me. And Eisenschmeid is the last dwarven city. So we're going to hopefully hold them just beyond that, and at worst case scenario, we're going to try to seal them up behind the cold iron gate. But again, nothing to worry about.
Jamie.
Excuse me. I need some air. I'm gonna get some air real quick.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
You know
Mhm.
where you're going?
Yeah, exactly. I know where I'm going very
Okay,
well.
great.
I'll be right back. Just mingle amongst yourselves. Everything's fine. And I get up and I leave the room.
Okay, great.
I'm gonna send a message to Clarion, like go with him.
My stomach's not doing too well.
I can go with him.
Okay.
Oh wait, hold on.
I'm
I'm
assuming we're sitting next to each other in the room, and so
Yeah.
I'm like leaning over and just saying like, go make sure he's okay.
Okay,
So
So-
catch up with Jamie.
great. Meanwhile, the three of you are left inside.
Yes.
Says, well, yeah, if you want, you can wait here for my father. But I don't know exactly what he'll know about any kind of drug problem. So, great. It was nice to meet you all. Rasper, Val, and Vel, and Christine,
Yes.
and I'll see you guys later. And he gets up and he walks out. Meanwhile, Clarion and Jamie, I assume, are all the way outside.
I'm outside. I'm in the kind of small courtyard, just kind of in the center. It's snowing, and I'm just kind of there, kind of lost in in my own head a little bit, just kind of thinking, just kind of staring at the gentle snow drift of the snowflakes.
Jamie, hold on a second. It's freezing out here. What are you doing?
Oh, I just needed some air. It was getting really, really stuffy. That stew was not didn't smell too good to me. So I just needed some air. I was getting a little.
Yeah, I'd use that as an excuse too. So, so what's really going on?
I know dwarves, and so I'm just worried about this whole thing, this whole war they're having. That's it. No, I'm just worried. That's it. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine.
Nothing you're telling me and the way you're telling me is indicative of a person who is fine.
Clara, can I tell you a secret?
Well, I don't think you can say anything more preposterous than I'm a werewolf. So, go for it.
I'm not exactly what I've been telling you guys I have been. Exactly. My powers they're not really learned. I was more or less given the power.
With your knowledge, or I don't understand how it.
Yeah, my it's really difficult to say. I was given the power through this pendant by the Fae.
The Fae.
Yeah.
So like a specific Fae you gave it to, or
Well, my fairy godmother, as it were.
that's cute.
Yes. She gave me this power, and I'm worried because she gave me the power in exchange for some favors.
Favors.
Yes. Favors that she has not called yet. So I'm worried that if we engage in this war, I may be inclined to do some things that I don't want to do. So I'm a little worried. I'm a little stressed out. Clara. A little stressed out.
Well, I feel that as amongst one of your friends that you'd make the right choice should it come to it.
I don't really get to make the choices all that often when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I'm just concerned. I'm trying to think of a game plan to better put myself in a position to not hurt people I like. So that's it. I would appreciate your discretion in the matter.
Well, I definitely think it is something you should discuss with the rest of them. But if you feel that you need to keep this secret, then I will help you. We have some pretty bright and intelligent individuals that we travel with, and I think they could help with a solution to whatever problem we come across.
I mean, I always thought that discretion would be better for us, but now that we're actually kind of in the we're kind of on the doorstep of the whole issue, I feel like it might be a good idea to let everybody in on the situation.
I think that would be best.
Meanwhile, back inside, Sue Nostromo and Lord Ulfin Nostromo enter the small room. He's a big man with a big white beard, and he wears a horned helm. And he says, "Hello. So, I understand you are the Demarin girl.
Yes.
Welcome." And he gives you a big hug.
Oh,
And he picks you up on your feet. Are you in your armor?
yes.
Yeah, he picks you up anyway. And then he puts you back down. And he says, he calls out to somebody. He says, "Hey, bring me my boy." And he says, "Okay, so I understand you got your titles back from Lord Easter,
Yes.
and the people of Marton recognize you as their lord."
Yes, sir.
Oh, success! In comes a couple of servants with Gary, and he says, "Hi again. What's going on, Father?" And he says, "Son, I want you to meet your new wife." And he looks really confused. He says, "Is this a joke? I don't understand." He says, "No, sit down." And he pushes you guys together, and pushes you, and then he starts pushing every other person down into a chair, and then he sits down in a big chair, and he says, "Son, many years ago, I made a pact with the Lord of Marton that when you two came of age, you make a marriage. And so now you are of age, and now that the lands are back, I thought when the Night Tower fell that all was lost, but now I see that everything is back on the track. Success!" Yeah, this is ridiculous. You've never said anything about this ever. I know, because it was very secret. So now we make a big arrangement, and we have a big marriage. Ha ha! And Grady says, "Dad, can I talk to you for a minute?" He says, "Oh yes, of course." And Grady takes him out into the hall. And you hear some whisper.
I could watch this for 5 minutes.
What do you mean? So beautiful! Lot of land, very strategic. This is very fortuitous for our family, Gregory. And then he attaches. What? Okay.
That was
2 weeks. They come back in, and he says, "So, young lady, I'm very sorry, my boy very skittish. He's not certain he want to be in the marriage. So what I'm trying to say is I just need a little bit of time to. This is a lot of information, so I just need a little bit of time to think this over. We have this we have this counteroffensive that I'm very heavily involved in.
Well, let
and
me help you with that.
I think that would be a great way for us all to get to know each other. You and your brother. Companion. Definitely not brother.
I'm
Your
not related to any
companion.
of the men here.
Okay.
All of my family is dead.
I'm really sorry to hear that. And he says, okay, so you go and you mount the defense and all goes well, and then I will begin the marriage. And he says, you will stay in Castle. He says, actually, we're gonna probably need to stay in the camp down in the tunnels. And he says, whatever, it's all good. I go kill 100 horned beast for the feast. Horned beast feast. I trademark. And he goes back in and he starts. He has a contingent of people that like following him and start taking notes, and he starts just listing off ideas for all the beautiful. All the wedding things that he has a whole grand plan. Meanwhile, Gregory says, okay, so that was weird.
Yeah, your dad is an interesting gentleman.
Yeah, yes, I'm glad I have my mother's accent and not his. But she's dead now. Sorry, this is a lot to process.
I know. Imagine I felt the exact same way. I found out about it in a tavern. So.
Oh well, I guess I have. At least I have that. So
yeah.
If you would help me with the defense, you Clarion and Jamie walk back in at this point. We can travel down to through Eisenschmied to where the defense is going to be mounted. It's in a little area called Bunford Pass.
Okay.
We're hoping that I can tell you on the way. You guys get more carts and you start heading down. He says, "My hope is as the red city passes, snow is gently falling." He says, "Our hope is that we can stop the Fae in this pass because they're going to have to come through it to get to Eisenschmied. So if we can stop them here at the pass, we have the red wizards. They're working on a ritual to spring a trap. So perhaps if any of you are magic users, they could appreciate your help.
I would love to talk to them.
Meanwhile, we know that our intelligence reports that the Fae army is marching to the tunnel and should be there in the next day or so. So we are going to, at Bumford Pass, line the tunnels with our troops to hopefully spring the trap and then surprise them enough that we can beat them back and maybe gain some ground because we've lost so much.
What sort of Fae are you fighting?
The thing that's been giving us some of the hardest trouble are the death clouds.
Death clouds.
Yeah, death clouds. They're a collection of a ton of small fairies that sort of act as a single cloud, and they can just move through areas and just chew through everything that they pass. It's like I guess you have locusts south, or something to that effect.
So magic users would probably be the only ones who can defend against that.
They're difficult, especially because we don't have as many cold iron weapons as we did. We had a lot, but the dwarves lost a lot of the cold iron back when they were deeper down in the tunnels. We have been buying up every single bit of cold iron that we could in the meantime, and we have built it in, of course, to the cold iron gate. And as he says that, you guys pull up to the cold iron gate. It's towering. It's probably 4 stories tall, and it's huge. It depicts the gray god of the dwarves with his horned helm and his white beard, and he's standing there in front of it. And out of the door stick 2 like carved hands that stick out, and a huge piece of cold iron, like a huge rod that looks like a warhammer, is used to bar the whole thing. It's massive. You can see that there's kind of some camps out in the fields. Here is a little map. You can see where the cold iron gate is over by those fields.
Yes.
That's the drawing. And then you can see the field
that little road that goes through the small fields that they have out to the Cold Iron Gate. So there's some camps that are set up there. You can see the two cities.
So that should give you a decent idea of what it looks like. And I need that back because I have all my names on there. And he says, so if you guys are ready to say goodbye to the sun for a little while.
Say goodbye to the sun?
We're going underground.
Oh. Yeah.
We'll go through one of the side passages. There's a few side passages to bypass the gate for strategic reasons, but not enough that a considerable force could get through. So that's our best strategic advantage, is keeping that gate closed.
Great.
And I think as long as the gate stays closed, the city will be safe. But if because we'd be, I think, overrun if not. So we're going to try to save at least some dwarven civilization, but we do have plans in place where we could fall them back to Ölengrad and keep them there. So you guys pass through one of the side tunnels off to the side, and you head down on in. There's tunnels. Jamie recognizes these are the type of tunnels that he's been dreaming about.
I'm anxious. I'm like very, I'm pacing and I'm like, my nails are to nubs or whatever, other anxious habits that people have. And I'm not
Clarion.
I'm not comfortable.
Yes,
Clarion, did you talk to Jamie?
I sure did.
Is he okay?
I think it'd be best if he explained.
That's probably a good idea.
A little ways in, you get to the town. It's a small dwarven town. It's maybe only like a couple thousand people at its height. It was like a trading post for the most part, but now it's become the last section of dwarven civilization. There's lots of dwarves mulling about. There's lots of you can clearly see what was a temple has now been turned into a field hospital, and there's both humans and dwarves alike that are just that are cut up, or lots of them have just huge claw marks, from 6 or 10 inch claws that are raked across their bodies. It's a pretty somber mood. The place is lit by glowing orbs. People have cast permanent dancing lights, or it's no brighter than torchlight most places. You head through to a small camp. As you're entering the camp, you actually hear him. You hear him before you see him. You hear a dwarf, and he's starting to yell. And he says, "Yes, and we will crush them." You walk in the tent. There's a big dwarf with a red beard. He has a set of bagpipes on his back, and he's totally bald, but he has the insignia of a captain. And you can see him looking over a map of the tunnel system. He says, Gregory, welcome back. Who are your friends? He says, these are this is Christine Demarin. She's a friend. And she's brought her friends, so these are my friends. Yeah. Friends.
Yep.
And he says,
Yep.
Great to meet you. My name is Ulfric Steinfaust. And I am the dwarven captain here.
Nice to meet you, Orphic Steinfaust. I'm Vel.
Great to meet you, little elf. We don't see many of you kind up here.
I think it's weird being called little by someone who's that much shorter than me, but okay.
You have a big wit, my friend.
Thank you.
So, we were just going over the final arrangements.
Yes. So what's the plan?
The plan is, tonight, we leave, we line the pass, they spring the trap that the Red Wizards are ready to go put into place now.
Oh, where are they? I should go do that.
Their contingent is just outside the south gate.
All right. I'm going.
Great.
Jamie, maybe you should come with me.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm going to stay here.
Okay.
I'll come along.
Okay.
Great. Rasper and Vel. I love this. This is
I
like
will come to watch the magic happen.
everything that I planned is going out the window. I love it. Great. So you guys go to meet up with the Red Wizards. Meanwhile, Ulfric has his map laid out and he says, okay, so I think just the final preparations need to be made. What are your names?
I'm Christine Demarin. This is Clarion.
Wasn't that, sir?
I like your voice. It's warm like melted butter.
I've never heard that before, but hopefully the words with my lute will soothe your men.
A fellow musician.
Yes, I also know how to use the tubes on your back as well. It's very prominent in my culture.
Well, I would love to hear you play them.
So would I.
Do you have a bagpipe app?
I wish I did. No, I just have a Pandora station.
I wish we had a bagpipe app.
The two gentlemen who left were Rasper and the elf is Vel. And then this is Jamie.
Hello.
Nice to meet you, Jamie.
Nice to meet you.
Are you ready to take down the face scourge?
Yes.
Yes, that is the spirit. We will crush them. He pounds the table again.
Where is there? Do you have a water hole here? Like, a place where you get water
He
from?
grabs a wineskin. He says, "There you go."
It kind of frosts over a little. I kind of hide it. I take it. It tastes a little earthy. Thank you so much. That's thank you for your. I gotta go. I'll be right back. I leave the tent. Just outside the tent. I go outside the front door of the tent.
Okay. What are you doing out there?
Breathing heavily. Avoiding any sort of strategic anything that's on that table. Just kind of removing myself from the situation as much as I can.
Great. Rasper and Vel, you guys head out of the city and you see a collection of old men in red robes with white beards. They're kind of they have a wagon just filled with material components for a big spell, and they are just getting on the road. And one of them turns and says, "An elf."
Hello, you must be the Red Wizards.
Yes.
Hey, I came here with I'm part of Lady Demarin's contingent. We're aiding you in the defense, and I understood that you could use help of a fellow magic user.
Absolutely. The more power that we have put into this, the better it'll be.
Well, I can certainly help with that. And Rasper's here too.
Hello.
Hello.
Are you also a wizard?
I'm a
No, but I can swing a shovel, or an axe, or a piece of wood, or maybe that rock right there.
He looks down at the rock and he leans on his tall black staff. He says, "Okay, my name is Sven, and I'm the Red Wizard.
You're the Red Wizard?
Yes, I'm the leader of the Red Wizards.
Oh.
So I'm the Red Wizard. And I guess the others are also Red Wizards. If you would like, we were just getting underway. Bumford Pass is only a few hours' journey, and we were going to prepare the ritual there."
Wonderful. I will happily come along. Rasper, I guess you're welcome to come. It'll probably be boring.
We could use the protection.
Absolutely.
Sure, why not?
The rest of the army will just be joining us later. So if that's what you're here for, then you certainly won't be disobeying orders or wasting your time.
Fine by me. I'm here to get paid, Whatever I do while getting paid is my employer's business.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
They start their wagons. They're like some dwarven mole things that they use as mounts.
Ooh.
Yeah, and they're like, no, fuck that. It's a boulette.
What's a boulette?
It's a boulette.
That battles.
I don't know
They have
what
a
that is.
fucking
Bulette
Bulette.
are
also known
land
as a
sharks.
land shark.
Land sharks.
What?
I got street shark.
Like a land shark.
Holy
Oh
crap.
man.
Whoa!
They're domesticated
They
ones?
swim in the
Yeah.
earth.
All right. Cool.
Do they have roller blades and sunglasses?
What?
No.
Oh, because it's a street shark.
Yeah.
That's a coolet.
Did.
He starts going, and he's sort of like half swimming through the earth, pulling this cart that's on the surface. And you guys set off that journey. Meanwhile, back at the tent, it's I guess Clarion and Christine are inside, and Jamie's outside.
Yes. I'm going to head outside and check on Jamie.
Great.
And there's one.
You guys are outside with Jamie.
Jamie.
Oh hey, what's going on, guys?
What is
Wow.
going on?
It sure is dark here, isn't it? It's really dark.
Jamie, seriously, what's going on?
Well, this big war, right? This crazy war with the dwarves.
You want me to say it, or do you want to say it?
Say what?
I'll say it. Playing my hand, Clarion.
This has something to do with the cold iron and your past?
Yes, it does. So, you know how like Vel is like a wizard, and he knows a bunch of spells from like books and like training and things. I'm not one of those kind of spellcasters. I got my power from a different place. Specifically, fays and fairy type people.
So this is probably very difficult for you.
Yeah, it's not difficult. Is not the word. It's mainly just I'm just worried that I'm going to learn too much stuff, and then they're going to see through my eyes or whatever.
They can do that?
No, maybe. I don't know. They all know what they can do.
Would blindfolding you help?
I think I don't know. They're very powerful. They just gave me this power, and they can basically call me to do any sort of favor that they want.
Well, if you want, you can sit this one out. I'm sure that you can just sit in the tent. I mean, you can say that you're sick, because, I mean, you kind of don't look good.
I brush myself. I straighten myself up a little bit. Maybe that's probably a good idea. Just because I don't want to give them an unfair advantage. I want to give us an unfair advantage. But I don't
You're afraid of turning against us.
Yeah. I'm afraid to give them an advantage. So maybe it's a good idea if I don't particularly engage too much in this one encounter.
Yeah, just hang back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's fine. Don't worry about
I'm
it.
gonna sit on the ground with like my hand, my elbows on my knees, and just kind of like this, just breathing.
I like kneel down next to him and like give you like a half hug.
I
It's okay.
I do like a weird like up half hug thing.
I mean, you helped me when I was scared. I mean, that's what friends do, right?
I look up to her, and my eyes are like a little glassy, but then like whatever tears are at the bottom start to like frost over and freeze into ice. I go, thank you very
Don't
much.
cry. It's creepy.
Okay. You guys should go get Vel and Rasper, or help them out or something, or talk to Redbeard guy in there.
Well, I think in a couple hours we'll be heading out. If what I learned was correct, the Red Wizards are already at the pass, and we'll be joining them in a little bit. If Vel and Rasper haven't come back by now, I can only assume that they went with them. So we might as well wait around and all go together. And so we'll all meet up there instead of going off on our own because it seems anything could happen.
Yep. That's a good plan. You're a good planner, Christine.
Thanks.
Gregory sticks his head out. Is everything okay?
Yeah.
You can hear.
I want to whip around and go, "Shut up, Gregory!"
Having a moment. Gregory sticks his head out. Okay, great. You guys just all need a lot of air. I get it. It's kind of stuffy down here underground.
Mm-hmm. Not quite used to it yet.
Okay, well, let me know if you guys need anything.
Okay. Thank you, Gregory.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You guys go. I'll be right here. You guys go do what you gotta do, and I'll catch up to you guys a little later.
Okay. Don't wander too far.
I won't.
Okay.
I won't.
Great. I go back in the tent and continue to talk strategy and where we're all gonna be and stuff like that.
Hey, loot boy.
Clarion's the name, but whatever.
Clarion. Right. Do you know how to inspire men with that instrument?
Inspire them to do what?
To fight hard and push on even in the face of 1,000 horrors coming down the tunnel?
Well, I can kind of do it on an individual basis, but not droves of people at once. No.
If only I had 1,000 of us. Then we could show them. Then we would crush them.
Is that what you're trained in, Ulfig?
Ulfig. Yes. I was a pipist. Down before all this, before they went down to the center of the earth. Before they came all out the other side. I was a pipist, and I would play in inns, but that's what this does to people. Changes them. Don't let it change you.
Well, I've got my loot, and I'll help inspire where I can, but I'm not used to a grand melee.
Well, hopefully, after today and this success, after we crush them, you'll never have to get used to it. He jumps off his chair and he says, "It's time to get going." Cut to Bunford Pass.
All right.
Rasper and Val, the cart comes to a stop, and the Red Wizard says, "Okay, if we can start unloading that cold iron dust, and grab me the earth of the red earth and the metallic fragments," and he starts listing off
Right.
a bunch of ingredients, and some of the other Red Wizards start picking up the big pots of these ingredients.
So, what kind of spell exactly are we attempting here?
We're trying to, well, I guess you're a wizard, so I won't give you the layman's terms.
Please don't.
We're trying to do a slightly larger variation on a standard ward, but we're going to try to do it with a cold iron base instead of the salt ring base, and then we're also going to throw in a couple of symbols, magic symbols of ensnaring, and we're going to try to pull off a symbol of death, but again with a cold iron variation on those.
Right.
And then we're going to try to outline the whole thing in a cloaking Thurian defense. So if we can pull off all those elements at once, it should be pretty straight. But again, it's highly experimental. It's all theoretical at this point.
That's certainly ambitious. I'm not much of an adjurer myself, but I know the general theory behind all the things that you're attempting here. I'd be happy to help out.
We, the Red Wizards, are at the Rote Cloister. We are typically evokers by our trade, and traditionally to heat the city. But now, of course, we all have to do different things. So perhaps you can help me. Do you have a staff?
No, I don't.
He picks up a big stick from the. It's a small stick. He says, "Maybe you can transmute this to something longer, but you can help me draw out the. You can help me draw out the symbol for the acolytes to fill with the materials."
Fantastic. I'd love to. Notes, and is it in this one? Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna bother to make it longer. I'm just gonna use what I got.
Just hunch over and draw on the dirt.
While this is happening, Rasper, bored of the magic, he just begins to take his place and unload the cart with the rest of them. Can he spell some cold or like holding the buckets? Can he get some cold iron on his hands?
Yeah, absolutely. From moving the cold iron, you have a light dusting of the cold iron dust.
Right.
On your
Well, he
hands.
doesn't fully understand what each ingredient is. He just is getting dusty and is patting it off and.
Great. It takes a little bit of time, maybe an hour or so, with the really intricate drawing of all the wards, but it finishes up, and at that time, the remaining of the contingent arrives. It's probably about 2,000 soldiers here at the pass, and you can see some scaffolds have been carved along the sides of the pass for everyone to kind of like duck into and hopefully camouflage themselves. Ulfik looks to Sven. He says, "Hey, wizard, are we almost ready?" He says, "We're almost there. We're just putting the finishing touches on the cloaking ward." What is the invisibility material component?
I don't know invisibility because I totally don't do illusion magic at all.
Well, we learn something new every day.
Yeah.
You do illusion magic. They finish putting the last material component, the last bit of the spell, and you can see that the big ward glows red for a second, and then disappears.
Cool.
This was very ambitious. This is interesting. I'm impressed. It's nice
Well,
to meet you.
Thanks for the help, and the stuff on the northeastern end, I think, is really gonna smooth the whole thing over.
Yeah, I put my own little zing in there. See if it works out.
Hopefully, it's enough. I think we're ready for everyone to take their place. Clarion, give me a perception check.
Perception.
At advantage.
At advantage. Let's go with 12.
Jamie, also give me one.
At advantage?
Yes.
Super. Perception, that's a big old 4.
Okay. Well, Clarion, at least, you hear with your superhuman hearing, with your canine hearing, you can hear from coming way down the tunnel the flutter of wings and the march of feet as they come up the tunnel.
They're coming, guys. Places. Everyone
All
get
right.
in their places.
It's time! Everyone get up! And you can see like the army has marched into formation.
Is
Gregory.
Gregory-
Gregory's there.
What
He
does
says-
he wield?
He has a great axe.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Great axe
Perfect.
bros!
He has a great axe that is mammoth tusk shaft, and then I think it's just going to be solid ivory blades.
Damn.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And he like looks at your great axe and he like goes.
And I go,
So everyone is going to take positions along the sides.
Okay.
There's lots of dwarves, and as time goes on, soon everyone can start to hear the marching. Everyone make a stealth check, and I'm going to make the equivalent of 2,000 stealth checks.
Wow. They'll put on-
If I'm not moving, do I not get a armor penalty?
You still have disadvantage in heavy
I
armor.
still have disadvantage. Okay.
oh, I need 12.
They'll put on his stealthy pants today.
16.
13. With disadvantage.
7.
19.
Great. No one did horrible. You guys are about as quiet as 2,000 people can be. You can hear some people like...
Gesundheit.
For the most part, everyone's trying to be deadly silent. You guys can hear some shaking off to the side as someone is quivering in their armor. And you can see a couple of dwarves maybe across the way. They're holding their holy symbols, the little hammers that they wear around their neck. There's some humans who are doing hand motions to praise Adam and the hero Theo. There's lots of like whispers of for Theo. And the entire cave goes pretty silent as everyone starts to like settle in. The march of the approaching army becomes heavier and heavier. The loudest sound that you hear is this buzzing that suddenly becomes very loud and slowly becomes deafening as the sounds of hundreds of inch-long wings, not hundreds, millions of inch-long wings flutters like a swarm of insects that are coming across. The first thing that you see are some of their undead war mammoths. That not undead, but they're like skeletal war mammoths that are coming up the tunnels, and they're huge footprint stomps as they come up. And Vel, you're next to Sven the Red Wizard, and he says, "Here it is, it's now or never." Okay, here we go. Watch. As the war mammoths slowly creep up, and they get to the part where the ward is. They walk through it, and the first one makes it about halfway through, and then the other two enter inside. He goes, "Come on." Meanwhile, a huge cloud of blue, it looks almost like mist, but you can hear the buzzing coming from it, so you know that it must be millions of tiny fairy wings comes rolling through the tunnel, and they just start to come over the mammoths. When there's enough force, and the ward light shoots out of where the symbol was, and the mammoths and a huge cloud of the fae are just eviscerated in an instant, and little ashes of fae start raining down to the ground, and you can hear a small cheer. Ah! But then more of the cloud comes in, and immediately starts going up to the people on the scaffold. So everyone jumps down, and as well as like these blue skins, sort of like fey leprechaun-y kind of small to medium sized people are suddenly join the rest of them, and now there's a huge battle in progress. The sounds of the wings are deafening, and the sounds of the clouds as they move along through everything is immensely loud. Everyone roll initiative. Let's do it. All right. I already have your scores. I bet you didn't think this was going to be the...
Nope.
Okay, I just have a quick question. How's this going to work? Like, because we're attacking an army, so...
You just add
Don't worry.
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go down the initiative. You guys are pretty much going to be just fighting. I mean, you guys are way stronger than a lot of these things, so you're going to be fighting mooks here for just a minute until you're going to have a bigger guy to worry about. So I'm just going to go down the initiative order. Why don't you, and I'll have you just describe. You don't have to roll or anything. You can just describe what you're doing in this battle. We're going to start with Rasper.
Okay, Rasper.
I'll just describe what the tunnel.
Maybe the immediate vicinity.
Yeah, it's for the most part the tunnel is probably 100 yards wide, but it's just a long straight pass, and it's a narrowing of the mining tunnels. So you don't have to put your miniatures down, but just so you guys are on either side of this thing, and so it's kind of a bottleneck point.
So what exactly would a foot soldier see in this battle as the swarm comes in?
Right. So a lot of it, there's clouds. So the things that you see when you jump down onto the ground are large clouds of, like essentially a blue locust swarm of blue fae. They're like moving around, and they're sentient. They're about the size of a person in clusters. they're moving around. But most of the rank and file are a humanoid. They're a fey humanoid, so they have like bug kind of eyes. They have like two multi-chambered eyes, and they have small wings that are just for show. That kind of flit every so often. But they have blue skin. They have only 3 fingers on each hand, and they all carry hand axes. Meanwhile, engaged with most of those are going to be the collection of dwarves and humans that you guys saw, each with the cold iron tipped weapons. And when the cold iron tipped weapons hit the Fae, they burn. It does significantly effective damage. Good? Do you need more, or was that enough?
That's pretty good.
Great. Rasper, you're up first.
So the swarms come in, and
and there's lots of rank and file humanoid bug Fae people.
Yep. Rasper starts swinging his shovel.
Great. Just describe what it looks like. Have some free reign.
Does the
Cut some people down.
How effective is a shovel against the Fae?
This is going to be about as effective as a normal weapon would be.
Okay. So he just starts slicing up Fae.
Okay.
Good old Rasper.
Great. You see Steinfast, the red bearded dwarf. He jumps down and he says, "Hurrah!" And he takes his dwarven warhammer and he brings it down and then brings it across in like a smooth arc and takes a couple of people in the head and then turns around and slams another guy on the shoulder. Jamie.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm there, and I nervously kind of compose myself and go, okay, Jamie, you gotta prioritize. Who are you fighting for? What are you trying to do? Okay, here we go. You can do this, Jamie, because you're a good person. And
Meanwhile, Vel.
yeah.
All right. So, can I take a little liberty and say that I pocketed some of the the cold iron dust? Excellent. Having been inspired by their use of cold iron dust as a component, I'm going to start using little pinches of it and just hucking fire bolts, but with a little bit of cold iron mixed in, so it turns them kind of a silvery blue color as I'm throwing them at the foot soldiers, sort of back and
It
forth.
looks really effective, and it burns them. Not only the fire, but the cold fire seems to really do some damage. As the soldiers.
Do you want multiple things or just one action worth of stuff?
No, however,
yeah,
this to represent maybe a minute or so.
I throw a couple of those, and then maybe I see a big cloud of those guys, and I throw a burning hands towards them. Same sort of fire thing. I'm using a lot of fire here, trying to help out where I can without burning my friends.
Great, carry on.
I am breaking out from the crowd. If I see anybody turn or attempt to break, I immediately go up to them and start playing my lute as well as they can hear it. And then eventually it gets to the point where I have to reach out and I pull my hand crossbow out, and I'll just every once in a while I'll take a shot and aim for one of the insectoid flitty.
Is that the first shot you fired?
I fired one at the zombies, but definitely has been a while. These are not conscious beings to me. They are insectoid, freaky,
great
creatures. So,
there's at least a couple people who look like they might like run, and you
just imagine like
you
a shoulder
stop
strap, and like every once in a while you just guitar riff and then pull out pistol.
The battle seems to be going okay. Gregory has his axe, and he wields it not like Christine, but in a more traditional axe sense, where he's actually just taking big, heavy swings at things, and he's cutting heads off. And there's clouds. Pretty much when a cloud comes, everyone just kind of ducks and hopes it doesn't get to them. You guys see at least one couple of dwarves as a death cloud moves in, and it just passes over them and just leaves their skeletons as it leaves, and they just their bones just collapse down to the ground. You guys also start to see in the mists, in some of the fog. You guys start to see things like maybe places you remember from your childhood, and maybe sometimes the clouds start to form like the figure of someone you once knew. as they
Like children
start to move around.
like children laughter.
Yeah, children's laughter is filling the tunnels as the sounds of screams as people are devoured by these passing clouds. Christine.
I'm going to be near Gregory, and I'm doing a more fluid movements with my great axe, using the momentum to kind of propel me through all of my strokes. It almost looks like I'm dancing. Is the best way to describe it, and I'm kind of showing off a little bit.
Gregory says, "You're a pretty good dancer."
I do more than that.
We're back at the top, Rasper.
The battle continues. Any changes at all in the battle? Just more battle. Okay, so Rasper covered in cold iron dust. At some point in the battle, a flow of a swarm of fairies comes towards him, devours the two around him, and then it parts ways around him. Like it hits his front and just. And he doesn't really put one and one together yet, but it is later in the battle when he, I guess, at some point he elbows or something one of the bug creatures, and that's when it like burns and melts, and he just comes to accept that he has maybe become magic. as he punches and kicks these things as they disintegrate.
You see Ulfric, he takes out a throwing axe and some cold iron throwing axes, and he throws it at a couple. He throws two of them go down. He says, "Ha! This is all they got. This is easy. We'll crush them yet." Boom! He kills another one. Jamie.
I gather my courage and I form my ice blade. But by that time, I've been standing around talking to myself for a couple minutes now, and there are like 5 of those guys around me, and they all go or whatever.
They're speaking Sylvan.
Yeah, they're speaking Sylvan, which is
And they say, "Die, human."
in Sylvan. I go, "No," in Sylvan, and then they charge at me, but then like just as they like get close to me, they stop and they kind of put their arms down a little bit, and I cut their heads off with my sword.
Great. Ulfric is still fighting. He's actually pretty close to Clarion. He says, "This is kind of fun, isn't it?"
The battle continues. I'm doing my best to help. And
As you're saying that, you hear a scream, like a blood-curdling scream, come from down the chamber. And you see Ulfric's face just drop. He goes, "Oh no.
what was it?
Wendigo."
What do I know about Wendigos? I'm gonna use Lucky. I luckily know everything about Wendigos.
No, you don't.
Hey.
You don't know much about the Wendigo.
You might want to retire though.
Yeah, well,
2
I'm on
ones
the
in a row.
19.
But you guys see one coming up. This is where the initiative's going to matter.
Right.
If you want to place your miniatures just close, and if you will put that bear thing at the far end of the tunnel. The battle is just going to kind of move and happen around you. Feel free at any time to like use elements, pull anything you want just to kind of tonally do everything. You see come from further down the tunnel. It's a large, it looks almost like it might be an ogre skeleton, but like a immensely emaciated ogre. So emaciated that it doesn't have any organs, and the organs are stretched all the way like to its body, so like it just is a rib cage almost. It's like a rib cage and a spine with skin still wrapped around it. It has hoofs, but it has claws that its arms are like they go all the way down to the ground, so it drags them as it moves. And it has claws that are probably like 10 inches long.
Well, that's where those claw marks came from.
It has a rat tail, a hairless rat tail, and it has a deer skull with antlers. And you can see it like just it's the one that's screaming as it like moves its way up the thing.
Creepy.
We'll start up at the top with Rasper.
Holy shit. Rasper sees this thing like barreling down the tunnel, and he's not dumb. He turns and bolts toward the tunnel wall, toward like a crevice as it approaches. So I guess, yeah, maybe he was a little bit further, and so he kind of ducks into a thing as it charges through and like mauls people. And
would you make sure I have a miniature for both Ulfric and for
Gregory?
One should
Gregory?
be.
Here's Gregory. I got Gregory.
Here's Ulfic.
Ulfic. Gregory.
That's perfect. That's actually really perfect. Okay, great. So you're moving towards a crevice. Awesome. You see Ulfric kind of take the center. He moves to the center of the path, and he says, "We can't let this thing go through.
All right.
Time to take it down. Don't believe what it shows you." Jamie.
I see it, and I'm dumbfounded. I am just so entranced by this thing. And I just start to slowly walk forward in the middle, like right in its path. Just start to slowly walk towards it.
Great. Val.
I'm going to, lob a few fire bolts at it, and then when the screech happens, and turn and go, and then I'm going to, I'm going to try casting, I'm going to throw a chromatic orb at it. I'm going to,
Great.
So I throw my diamond up in the air. The torchlight is just enough to give me a little juice. I'm going to throw some cold iron into it as much as I can, and I'm going to attack. That's a 15.
That's a hit.
All right. That's going to be 3d8. 9, 5. So that's going to be 14 damage, fire damage this time around.
How much?
14.
Oh, wow. That's a good amount.
Yeah.
It burns it, and it's kind of mad. Clara.
I run forward and I touch Christine on the shoulder and say, hopefully you can stay vigilant in the face of this evil. And I cast Heroism on her. So on her turn, she gets 3 temporary hit points for a minute, and then she is immune to the frightened condition.
Wonderful. You see the Wendigo, and it walks towards you. It can move like 40 feet, so it's going to actually, as it walks towards you, they'll stop at about halfway. As it's walking, you see it change. The face sort of like peels back, and you and Christine, you see it as the face of your father. Clara, you see it as the face of a Nottish merchant. Jamie, you see it as the face of your elven father, and slowly, Rasper, you see Garay's face on the monster, and Vel, you see it as Damon's face, as the thing actually just like sort of transforms to like a horrible skeletal version of each of those things. Everyone can make a will save.
Wisdom save.
Wisdom save.
Ugh.
Oh no. 7.
Okay.
Oh, I have advantage on these. So, 15.
15 makes it.
19.
19 makes it.
8.
8 fails. 4 fails.
Yeah, 7.
And 7 fails. So you guys can act. The two of you see that it's an illusion, and then it's just using the frost to appear to be these things, but you guys see it as your friends and enemies. As it then runs forward and is going to pull its huge claws out, and it has 2 claws. Who's that? That's Jamie in front. It's going to claw at 2 claws to Ulfric. It like looks at Jamie, and then it looks away over to Ulfric, and he's actually going to do a couple claws. He's going to hit with both of them, and Ulfric is going to get the hurt on him. So you see Ulfric, like, he's able to kind of dodge out of the way, but the claws, you can see spark against his armor as they hit him, and it tears through the chainmail as it comes at him. Gregory is going to pull his axe out, and he's actually going to move to along the side of it. He says he needs a... Oh, these guys need a will save. He says, "What is this thing? And why does it look like my mom?" And he's going to take his axe, and he's going to huck it at it. He is going to hit and only deal a couple of damage. As his ivory cuts the thing in the leg, and it turns its face to look at him. Christine, you're up.
Okay.
You gain 3 temporary hit points.
Ooh, I gain 3 temporary hit points. I'm going to go on the other side and say, I don't know, but I think it's still hurting people. 10 to hit.
No, 10 is going to miss. You're distracted for a moment as you go to swing by your father standing there before you, but it's a skeletal version with a mouth like way too big to be a human mouth, and you hesitate at the last second, causing you to miss. Rasper.
Rasper is entranced in this illusion, and he runs out. His emotions peak as he gains courage and runs toward it. Gare! I will kill you for what you have done! And he lunges for its throat.
Great. Let's see it.
Alright. 17 plus 6. So, 23. Yeah, 23.
Wonderful. 23 is a hit.
Okay. And he's going to use his action surge to attack again.
Great.
He's just swinging wildly at
Just
it.
roll damage for the first attack
Yeah.
first.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think 1d10 plus 6. Okay. 2, so 8.
Great.
And he attacks again. Ooh,
That one's a miss.
that's probably a miss.
Yeah, 9.
Yeah, 9 is a miss.
I think it was a 2.
You catch it in the throat once and it's surprised, but the second time it's able to like duck below as it raises its huge skeletal arms up. So Ulfik is gonna try to hit it, and he's actually gonna hit, and he deals it a blow to the shoulder with his warhammer, and you see a couple of bones on it shatter. It looks pretty pissed. Jamie.
Is this thing undead?
No.
No?
It is fake.
Okay. Then I'm going to walk up. I'm going to go using my minor illusion cantrip. I'm going to do a very cacophonous yell of "Enough!" and then cast Phantasmal Force to make myself look like a really big, like fairy-looking guy,
Okay.
and then start speaking at it in Sylvan.
Great. So minor illusion, I get a wisdom saving throw, correct?
Intelligence.
Oh, really? Against illusions? Oh,
Illusions, yeah, are mostly against intelligence
That's
now.
new. 15?
15 is a yes.
So I make the save?
You make the save.
Okay.
So it's not as loud as, I guess.
Okay. I was mainly you're transforming into...
He was rolling against Phantasmal Force. You just made your voice loud. He doesn't need to save against that.
Oh, then if you're doing Phantasmal Force, then you make it, and it's not a thing. Then.
Okay. It just kind of like looks in your direction, and it opens its mouth, and a bunch of worms crawl out and go all over itself. Vel.
All right. Now that illusion has gone up and Vel sees through it, Vel's going to get quiet for a second. He's going to be like, "That face is too good for you. Take it off." And then he's going to throw Chromatic Orb, but he's going to use it as a second level spell. He's going to put a lot more juice into it this time. And it's going to be lightning damage, so his hair stands on end and channels this. And he rolls a natural 20.
20.
So spell crits is double damage, or how does it?
I don't know. Do spell?
I think spells can crit if they're attack rolls now.
I know in Pathfinder they can. So I think I would go ahead and crit it. This is awesome.
Holy crap! Okay, so that's gonna be 6, 9, 14, 22, and that's the normal damage. I haven't doubled it yet.
40.
Want me to keep
Keep
going?
going.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
27,
Threes.
32,
Oh Jesus.
40, 46.
Oh my god.
46.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just shoot just a ton of lightning through this thing. As you're shooting lightning, you can see that like it starts to get mad and it starts to like kind of lift up off the ground, like to try to fly away. But then it falls down to the ground and it collapses and turns into snow when it hits the ground. You hear Ulfix shout, "Yes! Now just 100 more of those!" As you guys see 4 more of those monsters coming up the tunnel. And Gregor says, "Oh God, they brought way more than we thought they would. I think we're gonna have to fall back. I think we've lost the pass." What do you guys think? Do we keep trying or should we try to mount a better defense at Eisenscheid? I don't know. You guys can see around and the like way more of the large portion of the fairies that had been killed a moment ago by when the rune went off has now been replaced by like way more than that are coming. You can hear the sound of Fey mammoths coming up the tunnels.
I put a hand on Gregory's shoulder to kind of like calm him down. Like, everybody move out! We're falling back!
Vel's a little woozy from putting that much punch into a spell, so he's kind of wobbling around and he kind of sits for a second.
Rosper, grab Vel. Put him over your shoulder if you have to. We gotta get out of here now.
On it! Run over. I just pick Vel up, not like pick him up, but like hold him by his shoulder and help him along.
All right.
As we stumble, away.
All right, let's go, dwarves! Back up! 118th, you cover us as much as possible. Ah, those crazy bastards! Let's go! Falling back! The army starts to fight their way back. You see this division of like crazy dwarves like jump in from the top, and they have like cold iron explosives, and they just start like they're gonna try to like blow as much of the tunnel as possible. And they start like lighting the kegs on fire, and they start to go as the battle kind of moves off. A protection kind of swarms around the commanders. There's a couple more Wendigo. You can see they like transforming and they're flying around. You see one of them like touch a guy and like freeze his head completely with the palm of his hand. And you see a couple of the death clouds shoot like ice eldritch blasts at a couple of people as the bombs go off and the cave starts to fall in. You guys do the long hour march or so as quickly as possible, and you fall all the way back to the city. He says, "Okay, there's a couple of important things that we're gonna have to do. If those death clouds, our city should be fairly protected, but if the death clouds get in the city, then I think we're in big trouble. So, you magic user.
Yes.
I think if you guys can focus on taking out the death clouds, because swords are just gonna go right through them with some kind of area spells, that would be great. The rest of us, we're gonna have to try to hold the Iron Arch at the front of the city, which is the entrance, and hopefully we can hold them here at this bottleneck. Otherwise, we're going to have to retreat through the gate. So."
All right.
I feel good about this. Yeah, this is going to be great. I mean, last time didn't go so great, but it's going to be fine.
It's gonna be okay.
The forces are mad, and you can see that there's just a ton of like just shredded bodies and like half-eaten people as they bring him into the field hospital. There's a couple of clerics of the Grey God, and they're like just trying as best they can to heal, and they're out of spells by now for the day, so they're just trying to like, oh god, what's the term?
Triage.
Triage. I love that word. They're just trying to triage as best they can. The walls start to shake as you hear more cave-ins coming from down the way. But for now, there's maybe enough time for a short rest before the next battle. I'm gonna call it this short rest.
Great.
And we'll pick up the battle next time as we try to defend Eisenstein. So questions, comments, concerns.
This is so much fun.
That was a lot.
That's
Pretty epic.
That's a lot.
This
Big
was
battle.
an action-packed session. Just
Sorry,
New
I
place.
melted your windigo so fast.
yeah. Oh
Don't
my
worry,
That was
I have
crazy.
I have 100 more.
I just like the
Oh.
natural 20 on that. Thanks, fate gods.
insane.
I wanted you to yell unlimited power though, right before you did it.
Yeah. I wasn't force lightning. It was a big ball of lightning. I wasn't like channeling a ton of lightning. I do. If I had Witch Bolt prepared, I
Hey,
could do
you
it.
sure took his face off.
I sure did.
Well, that really did feel like a battle. Like it felt like we weren't just like fighting little enemies. Like taking the time to like, we didn't have to like drudge through and like role play each small encounter. It's like no, just you guys can take these guys. Like what do you do?
Yeah, you have a minute.
That really helped because it wasn't like, oh, now I have to roll and like they only have 2 HP and they like.
Did it feel like part of a bigger conflict?
There's
Yes,
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
felt, it felt big.
It was a lot better to fast track all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked. Yeah.
It felt like a big battle going on.
Awesome. What do you guys think of the north?
I like
Does
it.
it feel different than the south?
Oh
very
yeah,
different.
people are nicer.
Oh,
Lord, Lord Nostromo might be my favorite.
Lord
NPC we've
so
had.
yeah. What a great character.
Yeah.
The voice, I mean,
Yeah.
really, that's
Told
like
it all,
everything.
yeah.
And Gregory's not a horrible person.
Gregory's dreamy. I think Gregory.
Jamie's a little in love with
I'm a
Gregory.
little.
You can't have him. He's mine.
I'd ship that.
I like how 2 shots ran the Kessel Rug in less than 12 parsecs.
Yeah.
I definitely thought you were trying to reach for that, and I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I wanted to like throw that in there, but like not. But,
2 shots is a player submission, and kind of I'll talk about that in just a minute. But thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
Because you were like, he's like, I can, I'm the fastest man on the air at sea, and I was like, he ran the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs.
He ran the Fane Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 12 parsec.
The North really does feel different than the South.
Absolutely
Like it's
different.
not just a temperature change. It's like this whole cultural shift. Like I just
Right.
feel like
And dwarves.
and
And
dwarves.
dwarves,
It's
yeah.
it's nice. I'll actually get to use my dwarvish.
Killing all
Or-
the dwarves, man.
Or dwarves.
I
Yeah.
know.
All right.
It's so sad.
This is an idea that Rob and I have been sitting on for such a long
What
time.
this
Do a
battle?
dwarf Vietnam.
I was thinking, like, you guys told me about this, and I was thinking, did you play Dragon Age?
No.
And
I
Rob
did.
didn't play Dragon Age either. It's interesting because this is very similar to the dwarves in Dragon Age.
Oh, cool.
They're constantly
Yeah.
fighting the darkspawn that are trying to come up to the surface, and like,
Oh, I
Oh,
did
yeah.
play I did play a little bit of Dragon Age.
yeah, you don't get the impact of that until you get to Ostagar and stuff. But yeah, interesting little bit. I mean, this is still very different, but
Yeah.
it's funny the parallels there.
That's interesting.
Yeah. This was a lot of fun.
This is very interesting for me.
Yeah, how are you handling all this?
Yeah.
Where are all the pieces gonna fall?
I don't
Yeah.
know. But
Yeah, a lot of things have been happening, and I'm just like, what's Jamie?
I'm
going to do?
just waiting. I'm just waiting so much for me to hear an effing voice. I was like, I don't want to talk to you. Like,
You probably already know what you have to do.
probably.
So when you said we screwed up your plans, I was like, okay, so Jamie was supposed to go with that,
He
and
was
then like
supposed
I
to
bet
go,
he
yeah.
like kicks the freaking like the voice tells him to like kick a foothold in the dirt so that the seal is broken.
No, this actually that didn't matter too much. I just
Yeah.
figured I would split it magic users and fighters, but like it actually works better that you guys did it according
Yeah.
to character.
Yeah.
because
Also, I love Josh. What you did is like, oh yeah, just have cold iron dust. Like you you wiped it out. I knew what you were doing as soon as I just wipe it on me. I was like, oh, I know what you're doing. But the fact that you're like, yeah, Rasper thinks he's magic now.
I spent an hour and a half by magic users.
Yeah.
Like, I
I'm
know
not magical.
I'm not magic.
That was next
Yeah.
to them for long enough.
I don't know if he knows what's going on, but
Yes, he
I
is.
couldn't. He's not very. Well, I guess he does have some wisdom, but
He's not dumb, but I
He's
don't
not
think
dumb,
he's like
but
doesn't
put
know
it
about
together.
magic at all.
he doesn't know about
Yeah.
magic at all, and he wouldn't know like without being told by someone. And he hasn't been curious enough to ask what the cold iron can do.
Yeah.
So he just doesn't understand.
Well, I'm very excited for next week. The battle for Eisenschmied. For
Yeah,
next
there we
session.
go.
It's a race to the goddamn finish. Like
Yeah.
it's only gonna get bigger. So I'm gonna call it there. Oh, yes, my larger thing. I'm kind of exploring the idea of having sort of an open world campaign setting. So where like we lay the bases out, have enough of a campaign setting there together that then everyone who isn't here at the table can do their own games and kind of play in the world and be able to change things, to be able to have characters that influence the events, or maybe like we'll hear about, like stories of, the dragon that was killed, across the world or in another town over, or the small band of adventurers that's a couple towns over. So if that's an idea that interests you guys, of sort of building sort of an open world campaign setting to kind of build a much larger world, because like there's so much fun stuff that is getting set up and that like we're working on, that I'm sure you guys are thinking of and working on, and I would love to see about maybe building something larger with a community, because I don't think anything's been tried like that before, with this kind of anchoring it. So let me know what you think about that. As well, let me know in the comments. Be sure to subscribe and to share it with all of your friends. I'm Steven, this is Threshold, and thanks for watching. Oh, it's a slow clap. Have you never done a slow clap? Okay, so you'll get it.